guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Too Cute for Cancer. My name is Jody and I am living with stage 4 metastatic triple negative breast cancer. This week was my regular 6-week scans. I get scanned every 6 weeks, so this was it. And I was a little bit nervous because I've been having a lot of extra bone pain in my left ankle. And if you look at my ankle on top, it looks like there's like a hard extra bone on top. I don't know how to explain it, but that's kind of ugly, kind of deformed a little bit. So I Googled that, which I tell everybody not to do, and yet I did. Hold on. And what I found on Google, that could mean that my Mets were spreading. Mets are cancer spots, tumors. So I was nervous. I went to the oncologist and I showed her my leg or my foot, and immediately she sped everything up. Instead of being just kind of chill about it, she just was like, okay, let's get this. We're gonna add a bone scan. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do a calcification test. And I was just like, ah! So in my mind, I thought, Google must be right, right? Because the doctor's reacting like this. So anyway, we got through all of the testing and stuff, and she said that she wanted to see me back at the end of the same week that I had my test done, which is so not normal. I mean, if you know Kaiser, that is just like not a normal thing. So I started getting very fearful in my heart, in my mind. I started playing the death card again, and I started realizing that my statistics say for metastatic breast cancer, triple negative metastatic breast cancer, that pretty much the longest anyone has lived, past 4 years past the time that they were diagnosed as metastatic, not with cancer, not from the beginning, but from the time that your cancer has spread to other parts of the body, metastatic, that you have 4 years left to live. So I am nearing my 5th year. Okay, sorry, I had to get a refill. So anyway, the results came in. My oncologist came in and she sat me down. She sat down right eye level, and she held my hands, and my heart's ah! And she says, we have good news and we have bad news. Now, I wasn't ready for that. I was ready for good news or bad news. I wasn't ready for we have good news and bad news. You know, that just, to me, that is contradictory, right? Okay, so she says, we have good news and we have bad news. She said, the spot on your ankle, and then she brought the computer up and she brought my scans up. And she showed me, and she said, and she showed me the joint and, you know, everything. And she said, you actually don't have a Met anywhere in that area, but you do have arthritis. And I was like, arthritis? I'm thinking arthritis is for old people. But then I was thinking arthritis is a normal thing. That's an aging thing. I am aging, so I was really like, kind of like, yay, I have arthritis. So anyway, she showed me that the bone was deformed because of the arthritis. And that happens, it deforms the joints and such. All right, so onward to the bad news. So she says, are you ready for the bad news? And then she pulled the scans back over again, and she did her thing and brought up my upper body, my rib cage, and where my lungs are. And prior, just to clarify, prior to this, I didn't have any Mets in my chest area or in my rib cage. All my mets are in the long bone, my pelvic, and my hip bone. Okay, so far. Anyway, so she pointed to several spots and she said, have you been having any like soreness or chest pains? And I said, you know what? I said, just the other night, I told my husband that I felt like something was like pushing from inside when I tried to breathe in, and then a kind of like a sharp, like, you know, ouch. And I said, but I just said, you know, whatever, you know, I mean, at my age, you get pain here and there for many different reasons other than cancer. So I kind of just wrote that out. And plus, hello, I've been focusing on my ankle. I was convinced I was going to lose my foot. So anyway, she said that I had 4 mets in various positions on my rib, in my rib bones. Not in the tissue, not in my lungs, but in the bones, in my ribs, the bones in my ribs. Ribs are bones, right? Okay, anyway, you get it. Anyway, so that was, I totally didn't expect. I was kind of like, I don't know, it's like it didn't really hit me. I just kept thinking about my foot, and yay, I have arthritis and I don't have to lose my foot. I wasn't thinking of what all of this meant. And so, of course, she spelled it out, and she said that we do not like the mets being that close to an organ in your body, because like my hip, the mets there, it makes like little holes in the, you know, it eats away at the bones and makes the bone really weak, and I am very susceptible to fractures. So if I fracture my hip, she said, we can, and we probably will do a hip replacement. And that's a good thing, because that's something that we can take out, and that gives me more time. But the mets in my rib cage, that's not so easy to control or do anything about. And she said that they really don't like them that close to my lungs. That was the main concern. So that's where we are, the good news and the bad news. I wasn't expecting the bad news. I was expecting bad news, but I wasn't expecting it this way. So I have been kind of like mulling it over in my mind and stuff. So then I first had a good cry, and I was just like, wow. And I started feeling and started playing the part of the victim again. Like, I'm not going to get to see my grandchildren grow up, and, you know, all of that all over again, the same as when I had the potential meds in my brain. So after I got past the crying and the victim and the kind of the grieving portion there, I got angry. Because you know what? I don't want to die, and I do not want to leave my grandchildren and my husband and my children and my adult children and my dumb dog here, Mr. Bentley. You know, I want to keep living. I want a full life. Who doesn't? That's what God intended for us. He didn't intend for illness and cancer and this to, you know, be honest. This is a cause from the world that we live in. So it's okay for me not want to die. But if I do die, and if this is my time, and I am ready, and